What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. That we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. I was just sitting here reading something kind of humorous. It is funny. So, somebody had posted in our local group. I'm not going to OPSEC anybody or anything. But somebody posted in our local group. And let me see. I believe I can get the picture up without, hang on. Without the person comments or anything like that. No, don't update. Close. Leave me alone. Okay, and let me find the right window. The right window. I thought this was humorous as well. So this is a local news station here that is, doing their thing, lying. I mean, keeping it real, yo. So. Anyway, local news station here, and they have a camera, a webcam, a live webcam for Highland. That would be the bottom right camera, which, yeah, there's not much there. A shed, and I see a picnic table. This is apparently this is the soaring club where, they take gliders off. Winnet Airport is what it is, but they fly gliders out of there, and that's what that is. It's an airfield. It's like on the edge. It's outside of town. It's not like it's in town or anything. And I just ran across the post and thought it was humorous. Thought I'd show you. But yeah, that was posted in our little local group here. I thought it was funny. Anyway. Let's see. Crazy. I have got a ton of news. Well, not a ton, but a fair amount brought up. Holy cow, 9? Hang on just a second here. Yikes. Hang on. Huh. I'm not even quite sure what that is, but I wouldn't click on it. Anyway, sorry. I have to look through this real quick because I am, an admin there. And I didn't realize I had a bunch of notifications and stuff. So, working through it won't take me but a moment. Let's see. Alright. Sorry about that. I just had to make sure that everything was kosher. Facebook is like horrible at notifying me of anything. Same with YouTube. Every damn... I just don't get notifications. I don't know why. Anywho. I mean, I get some. It's not like I never, ever get any. So, anyway, I had something kind of humorous that I wanted to share with you before we get going. And I just ran across this, like, literally a couple of minutes before the show here. I thought it was kind of funny. Anyway, I had hang on. I ran across something that was kind of funny a little bit before the show, and I wanted to I wanted to share it with you for sure. Get back over here. So I'm only going to play the link that's in the description of the video is to this full video. I'm only going to play about the first, 45 seconds or so of it. But I thought it was hilarious. It's just a small channel. Eva and Max Witham, probably Witham. Anyway, just a small channel. I assume that they're skydivers, and I just thought this was priceless. I thought this was awesome. It's just something I caught in the suggested feed on the side, and I just thought, oh yeah, that's gonna be funny. And indeed it is. So real quickly here, enjoy. Guy's having the time of his life. That looks like it'd be a whole bunch of fun. Anyway, I thought maybe you guys would enjoy seeing that. It's like I said, it just popped up in the suggested feed, and I thought, man, I gotta watch this guy riding down this wacky, wavy, inflatable tube. So it did, at least for me. And yeah, okay, I am amused by easy things. I thought it was pretty cool. So anyway, like I said, we've got a fair amount of news to go over. Things are getting a little stupid in some regards here, so definitely stuff to be paying attention to. Don't know of any updates as far as like we're concerned or anything. Did about maybe, I don't know, 25-30 minutes of flying earlier. I don't know what the hell, I got a moment, so hooked everything up. Hang on. Hooked everything up, hopped in an F-16. Yep, an F-16, not the F-22. And terrorized the skies above Los Angeles for, 25-30 minutes. It was fun. I like that F-16. It's fun to fly. F-22 is great, but it's almost like cheating when you fly it, to be really honest, because you can do just about anything imaginable in the aircraft. It's just so controllable. But, anywho, the F-16's not a slouch. I mean, you can do quite a bit in it. I was having a bang up time flying over the international airport there, KLAX. Other than that, I don't have any really updates as far as like we're concerned. Just kind of doing the normal. Yesterday I actually did get out. I forgot. I was actually going to videotape it, and I forgot. I finally got out and got my last battery drained down at least to 60% for the Potenzic D58 drone. So I got that done. Crashed it like 3 times, and before I got the one battery. It's just like I told you in the video about drones. I recommend somebody have a drone on that level. And the reason why is because DJI can shut my 2 nicer drones. DJI can just like make them not flyable. They can like flip a switch and you won't be able to take off. As it is, there's geofenced areas, and I wouldn't recommend people flying in an area that was prohibited. That stupid, but it's geofenced, which I don't have an issue with. I really don't have an issue with the geofencing, because like we shouldn't be trying to do stupid shit like flying over airports and stuff like that. So I get that, but it's just a little concerning that at the drop of a hat, they can prevent us from being able to use the item. Now, my Potenzic doesn't have any of that fancy crap. It's got GPS, but nothing as far as geofencing, nothing, So I recommend having one just in case that's having a cheaper one that doesn't have any type of geofencing or anything like that. Because that way you're not just shit out of luck if you need it and they shut stuff down. So anyway, well, howdy people. I just happened to look up there. So yeah, I would recommend, like I say, having one that doesn't have all the fancy stuff. Just GPS. I would highly suggest that it would be GPS enabled. I mean, unless you're familiar with drones and got experience, and you're not listening to me anyway to begin with. But because I'm the last guy, I mean, I can advise you depending on what your needs are as to what drone I would recommend. But I am by far away from any kind of a drone expert of any kind. But I would say that if you aren't familiar with drones, you're definitely going to want a GPS-enabled drone because that's going to be much more stable. It's not going to just drift off. Okay, let me rephrase this. It's not supposed to just drift off. The crashes I had with mine wasn't because I'm a terrible pilot. It's because the drone's not that great of a drone. So, and it would do that. It would just, when it's supposed to just hover in one place and sit still, it would start drifting. One of the crashes, this is weird, I don't even know how this did this, but one of the crashes that I had, it's like my joystick, the right joystick, it's like it rotated 90 degrees. In other words, pushing right and left was equivalent to pushing it up and down. And, pushing up and down was equivalent to pushing it left and right. Well, when you're trying to avoid hitting the side of a house, when those controls get messed up, so does your flight. But I mean, I didn't damage it or anything. It's that little thing, a little cheap piece of crap, is a pretty tough cookie. Like I say, it's the Potenzic D58. Nah, I wouldn't really recommend it. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not what I would recommend. I don't know on that line, that area. I as far as the, and I don't want to upset anybody saying this, but the toy grade line, which is what that Potenzic is. Even they make better models. Even Potenzic makes better models than that. So, let's see. Fun time. I've got, like I say, how many I got open? 7, I guess. 7 tabs open. One of them we'll likely spend a fair amount of time with. And then, like I said, the other ones are kind of important. Of course, I've been keeping an eye as best I can on this Ukraine thing. And it's just ridiculous. Now, right before we get started here in the articles, I don't know on this stuff, like this report that I'm going to be covering. I don't know how much of it is propaganda, how much of it is truth, and I want you to be aware of that. Hey, I don't support either side in this. I think the dumbest concept that mankind somehow came up with is that they have to choose a side. No, you don't. If you have two entities both doing evil against each other, you don't have to choose one of the sides. There's nothing in this universe other than man's bullshit unsaid rules that says you have to choose a side. You can abstain And that's exactly what I do on a whole lot of shit. I just abstain. I'm not going to take a side. Not my circus, not my monkeys. And as long as there's not humanitarian issues going on, I don't think it's anybody else's business. And when it comes to said humanitarian issues, my bet would be that Ukraine has more issues with that by far than what Russia does. You know, you would think that if we were so concerned about humanity and doing the right thing, we damn sure wouldn't be allowing what's happening to happen in Yemen. We wouldn't be allowing what's happening in Palestine to be happening. And there's many, many other places. There's countries that we are not even, I don't want to say the word legally in, we're not rightfully in there, but yet we're in there anyway, pushing around their own governments. Their governments that, the only reason why we can even do it is because we're bigger. And I think that chicken's about to come home to roost, to be honest. And I'm speaking about things like Turkey and Syria and stuff like that. I think that chicken's about to come home to roost. I think that they're going to put a stop to that pretty quickly here. I think Iran, Russia, I think China's going to help. I think they're going to drive the United States out of that area. You know, namely, I'm talking a lot about Syria and stuff like that because, you know, we still run oil operations there and what have you. So, man. Here is 4th of July. We're supposed to be celebrating the freedoms. They weren't given to us by the people that gave the ultimate. No, they were given to us by the Creator. I want to make that very clear. They were given to us by the Creator. They were absolutely defended by those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. The first one of those battles being the Revolutionary War. And I do want to speak to one thing, I guess, before we get going on this ongoing doggy drama. So BP put out another video today. And even went as far as to claim something to the effect of how fireworks on the 4th of July wasn't even the tradition. It wasn't even the way we'd done it. Well, ironically, Glenn Beck came out with a video today as well in which he spoke about the history of fireworks. Do you know the first year that the United States, and let me enlighten you, BP Earthwatch, Jesse, brother, the first year that the United States celebrated Independence Day with fireworks was 1777. So I don't know if maybe you were expecting 1776 to be in there too and disappointed and saying that 1 year possibly, but you know, I'm sure we had a bunch of shit going off in 1776, right? But, you know, why are you doing this, dude? The Father despises liars. Despises them. And you accused me, yesterday or day before or whatever, of BS, of lying to you. I'm assuming that the BS claim was when I said I don't celebrate the 4th of July. I assume that's what you were saying I was lying about. I don't know. But dude, you're straight up caught right here red-handed. Unfrickin' believable. I'm not asking to lead anybody, but I am saying that leaders don't lie. Leaders don't misguide. They don't misdirect. Leaders won't turn you away from knowledge. I'm not volunteering to be a damn person's leader. I'm just giving you a little bit of wisdom. Anywho, here's the ordeal with this, and again, I can't stand behind anything as being fact because I'm not over there. So I have no idea. But, and you know how this kind of stuff goes around. So, as the headline claims, Russian nuclear giant claims Ukrainian attack on power plant imminent. And I know that this has been being talked about and stuff like that around the prepper community and stuff like that. But there's nothing, nothing in stone, okay? Nothing anywhere in stone. It is absolutely something we should have our eyes peeled on. But, Russia don't benefit in any way. Russia has no way to benefit. And to be real honest, I don't think Ukraine even has anything to benefit from blowing that plant. The only ones that have anything to benefit are the the military-industrial complex. That's it. They win big. Everybody else loses. So I would say that if you do see that plant go up, it's probably not Ukraine doing it. Just saying. Just like the Nord Stream. Just saying. Just like the bridge. Just saying. Ukraine is expected to launch a large-scale attack on the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant overnight, a senior Russian atomic energy industry official warned late on Tuesday. Kiev may also strike the plant with a missile stuffed with radioactive waste, he added. The warning was voiced by Renat Karcha, a senior aide to the head of Rosenergo Atom? Hell, I don't have any idea how you're supposed to... Holy cow! Anyway, a subsidiary to Russia's state-owned atomic energy giant Rosatom. That one I can say. The official cited intelligence data received by the industry. On July 5th, literally overnight, while it's still dark, Ukrainian forces will attempt an attack on the Zaporozhye plant with a long-range, high-precision munitions as well as suicide drones, he told Russia 24 TV channel. Kiev is also expected to attempt to strike on the plant with a heavy Soviet-made Tochka-U tactical ballistic missile. Karcha went on. The munition has been filled with radioactive waste collected from the South Ukrainian nuclear power plant, the official claimed. While Karcha did not elaborate, the apparent goal of the secondary attack is to cause an uptick in radioactivity readings in the region should the main launch fail to damage the facility enough to cause the release of hazardous materials into the air. The ZNPP was seized by Moscow from Ukraine early into the ongoing conflict, getting formally transferred under Rosatom management as the Zaporozhye region became incorporated into Russia after a referendum. So, and there have been back and forth about it and all that. But I would keep your ears peeled for any news on this, especially over the course of, I wouldn't say day, I would say, few days. I mean, I could definitely see the military-industrial complex doing this. I mean, this is absolutely a possible Gulf of Tonkin right here. Ukraine claims its Western backers failed on F-16 pledge. This is just fun times. Let me have a sip of coffee, because we got a couple articles that are about planes. That is going to Ukraine, or, well, Ukraine was told that its pilots would start training in F-16 fighter jets in June, but the program has not yet been launched, the Ukrainian foreign minister has claimed. One of the countries, which is part of the so-called fighter jet coalition, promised that the scheme would start last month, Dmitry Kuleba said during a TV appearance on Monday. The training did not start in June. This means that the schedule is starting to shift. We're now working with all the parties involved to speed this process up as much as possible, he said. According to the minister, the unnamed country miscalculated when it made its pledge to Kiev, but is continuing to make preparations for Ukrainian airmen to be trained with the American aircraft. Let's see. Kuleba said he was previously expecting to get the F-16s in the first few months of 2024, but the delay in training now means the wait will be longer. So, kind of nuts. Last month, Igor Zavka, something like that, an aide to Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, said 9 countries, the U.S., U.K., and Netherlands, Poland, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Portugal, and France, had formed a coalition to help Ukraine obtain the warplanes. So, now, I wanted to, let you know about that. They're complaining because we're taking too long to get them, It's insane. Oh, but it gets worse. Not only are we all deadbeat countries for not getting their planes to them on time. I mean, are you feeling like a Ukrainian baby daddy at this point? I mean, I'm pretty sure the United States is the Ukrainian baby daddy at this point. And the baby daddy is having more demands made of him. Child support's going up, yo. Now Ukraine wants more Western jets, not just F-16s. What the fuck were we thinking that they would just want F-16? Shit, we should have gave them a whole damn squadron of F-22s right from the beginning. I mean, it's only our most classified aircraft. Most capable classified aircraft. Why not? We should have let off with that. F-16 fighter jets promised to Ukraine by its Western backers are not the only military aircraft that Kiev wants. Ukrainian Air Force Command spokesman Yuri Ignat, how you doing, Mr. Ignat, said on Tuesday. Don't drone me, bro. Ukraine considers and will consider other aircraft types that could enhance combat capabilities. Ignat, man, I'd be pissed. However, Ignat is not as bad as Boris Pistorius. I'm telling you, my dad would have his ass whooped. I mean, like, more than once. Like, every birthday, right? Every birthday, Dad, come here. Anyway, continuing on. Ukraine considers and will consider other aircraft types that could enhance combat capabilities, Ignat told national broadcasters when asked about Kiev potentially acquiring American-made F-18 Hornets. Well, they were made by Hormel Chili. We call them Hornets. Anyway, and they're FA-18 Hornets from Australia. However, Ukraine can't exert too much pressure on the U.S. and its allies as it depends on Western aid, he admitted. Yeah, Typhoons are a badass plane, dude. They absolutely are. And I like, if it's got a canard, I'm in. So, my youngest boy is named Rafale after the Dassault Rafale aircraft. Yeah, I kind of like canards. A little bit. It says, Ignat said the U.S. made FA-18 and F-15, as well as a Eurofighter Typhoon, have a greater range and can carry more weapons. Nonetheless, he stated that Kiev would still focus on acquiring F-16s, first adding that Ukrainian pilots could learn to fly them sooner. Oh, that very well may have been. Imagine that. Fireworks on the 4th of July. I'd open up the windows, because there's going to be a lot of people probably blowing them off here in a moment. I would imagine. Like I said yesterday, it's pretty mellow here. If you've got a little, as long as you're not putting on a display bigger than the town, unless somebody complains or something, they usually don't bother people for lighting stuff off. So it's not uncommon to hear it. So let me pop off the air real quick and open the front window. And that was like perfect timing. Open the window and poof. Anywho, oh, I need somebody to take care of my pet. No, it's my job. What? Well, that's the way VP thinks. Anyway, where were we at? So, Typhoon, they have a greater range. It says, nonetheless, he stated that Kiev would still focus on acquiring F-16s first, adding that the Ukrainian pilots could learn to fly them sooner. So, I'm actually surprised, Leo. I'm surprised that I haven't been hearing them for the past 2-3 days, but we haven't really. That is kind of unusual. And honestly, I would have thought I would have heard a lot more of them than what I have so far. So, I don't know. Maybe just, maybe it's a matter of, people just not being able to afford the extra money. So, alright. Let me continue on here. It says Ukrainian pilots have still not started their F-16 training. Well, we already talked about that. Let's see if there's anything else in there. It doesn't look it. So basically, now they want any aircraft that we're willing to give them. And, hey, I think we should be willing to give them, let's give them some Quicksilvers. Right? We'll give them some Quicksilver aircraft. We'll, why can't we take, now, hear me out. Why can't we take a couple Stingers, right? So we take a couple of Stingers, okay, and we hang them off of the wings of a Quicksilver, and I'll show you what one is, of a Quicksilver aircraft, and then we just run, wires to them with triggers, and that way you can set in your seat, and that would be like excellent. Let's see. I know you might have heard the pop. I doubt you heard the sparkle. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Quicksilver MX. Yeah. Hang on, gotta find the right windows and stuff. Oh, I am in the right window. Alright. Here's an MX. Let me see it fly. Fly it. Oh. Is that all it is? It's just, come on. No way. Well, I thought I'd find an easy one for you, but it doesn't look like, Ooh, this guy says,
Hello,
this is
Roy
flying.
Nelson, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be flying a 1983 MX Quicksilver all-in. Of course, one camera is on
the joke's no fun by now. So this is a Quicksilver. This guy's filming from the possession of the Quicksilver. That's what I'm talking about. Mounting a couple of Stinger missiles, shoulder-mounted missiles under the wing.
Speedway.
They blow the damn thing backwards. Anyway, I thought it was funny. Maybe not. But we can give him some Quicksilvers. Let's give him some Quicksilvers. Plus, we can ship a shit ton of those things on one barge over there. Just like, I mean, there's not going to be any different results with any aircraft that we give them. And I'm just keeping it real. There is no aircraft that the West is going to be willing to give Ukraine that is going to be a formidable defense or offense against Russia. They're just not. Not when they've got S-400, S-500, and yes, S-550 systems guarding the airspace. No, sorry. I didn't even hear that. There was no sparkle. I just heard the boom. Ukraine wants more Western jets. Oh, I frickin' read that. I thought I closed it, though. Sorry. Multiple victims in fierce Ukrainian strike on Donbass, says officials. So this is relatively new. I figured I would cover this so that, you know that when Putin goes on his ass stomping tonight, you know why. So, the town of Makivka in Russia's Donetsk People's Republic came under intense shelling on Tuesday, according to the region's acting head, Denis Pushilin. Ukrainian forces reportedly targeted residential districts, damaging multiple houses as well as a school and a hospital complex. At least 24 people were injured in the strike, including 2 young children, according to preliminary data shared by Pushilin. Late in the evening, the enemy carried out fierce strikes on residential areas in the hospital complex in the, Chervangovsky district of Makivka, the official wrote on Telegram. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that nobody would even recognize what I just said. The number of victims was later revised to 36 as more people requested aid. The victims are receiving the necessary medical care even after multiple local health care facilities were damaged in the attack, officials added. It is unclear what type of munitions might have been used, but the blasts were felt by most residents of Makivka and Donetsk, Pushilin claimed. The DPR mission to the Joint Center for Control and Coordination recorded dozens of hits from self-propelled multiple rocket launcher systems over the past day. The capital of the DPR also came under intense shelling on Tuesday, with at least 2 people reported killed and several injured earlier in the afternoon, according to the mayor of Donetsk, Alexei Kumuzin, or something like that. In total, the Ukrainian forces attacked the city and its suburbs 24 times on Tuesday, firing some 166 shells from 155mm artillery provided by Western nations, the official claim. So, and they're flat out asking for people, for nations to give them, not people, just people, but nations to give them like longer range missiles and everything else. And to be honest, it's kind of looking like they're going to do it. But, I think Highland's due to be setting theirs off in another 15 minutes. I think 9 o'clock is when they're setting theirs off. We might be able to hear them from our location, but certainly not see them, so. I would imagine we can probably hear the report of them going off, but that'd probably be about it. I was talking in our local group earlier. It's much different now, the way that they do it. In fact, as far as I recall, I have never gone to watch the fireworks since they've had it where they have it now. In fact, it'd been a long, long time since I went and watched the local fireworks here. Back the last time that I watched it, I was a kid, literally. It's been that long. And they used to do it up near the, we've got it's a clay racetrack, I think a quarter-mile oval or whatever, clay racetrack. They have races at every weekend. Well, anyway, next to that is where they used to, not in the raceway, but next to it, they used to do all the fireworks. And it was like down in like a little, well, literally the pit area for the race car track, and the folks would stand in an area that kind of overlooked that area. Really beautiful there, and there were some memorials there for veterans and stuff like that. Really cool. And then they had old, cannons setting there, and I can't remember if they were like, I think there may have been like 3 cannons or something sitting there. And if I recall correctly, every hour they used to either light off one or all the I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. It's been a long, long time since they've done that. But like every hour they would light cannons off, and it was pretty cool on the 4th of July. And then of course that evening you'd have your big firework display, and for, a small town, they have always had a pretty impressive display, I can tell you that much. So, anyway. Moving on. This is nuts here. I'm kind of tired. By the way, sorry to everybody that just yawned along with me. Didn't mean to. Japan gets UN nuclear watchdog approval for water release. So, yeah, they're going to be releasing a bunch of radioactive water into the oceans. Fun times. Says here, Japan won approval from the UN nuclear watchdog on Tuesday for its plan to release treated radioactive water from the tsunami-wrecked Fukushima plant into the ocean, despite fierce resistance from Beijing and some local residents. Well, hell yeah. So here's the thing, right? This whole radioactive waste thing. So let me get this right. They want you to give up everything, right? In order to appease them. They want you to give up essentially everything to appease them. And they can sit there and just dump nuclear waste into the ocean. No biggie, yo. Says here, after a 2-year review, the International Atomic Energy Agency said Japan's plans were consistent with global safety standards and that they would have a negligible radiological impact to people and the environment. Right. This is a very special night, IAEA Chief Rafael Grossi told Prime Minister Fumio Kishida before handing him a thick blue folder containing the final report. Very special night, my ass. Grossi later told reporters at the Japan National Press Club, where he was met by a small group of protesters, that he would seek to allay lingering concerns and would station IAEA staff at the Fukushima plant to monitor the release. Well, what's that make a damn difference? We have to recognize that such a thing has not happened before, he said, adding that Japan would have the final say on the release, which is due to span 30 to 40 years. 30 to 40 years of releasing nuclear waste into the ocean. But you have to stop eating hamburgers because cows fart. Japan's government maintains the process is safe, as it has treated the water enough to fill 500 Olympic-sized swimming pools used to cool the fuel rods of the Fukushima plant after it was damaged by the earthquake and resulting tsunami. Japan has not specified a date to start the water release pending official approval from the National Nuclear Regulatory Body for Tokyo Electric Power, or TEPCO, whose final word on the plan unveiled in 2021 could come as early as this week. Japanese fishing unions have long opposed the plan, saying it would undo work to repair reputations after several countries banned some Japanese food products after the 2011 disaster. The petition from regions around the plant has garnered more than 250,000 signatures since the proposal was first made. Some neighboring countries have also complained over the years about the threat to the marine environment and public health, with Beijing emerging as the biggest critic. Japan will continue to provide explanations to the Japanese people and to the international community in a sincere manner based on scientific evidence and with high level of transparency, Kishida said as he met with Grossi. Look, there ain't a damn thing about Fukushima that had been handled scientifically and with a high level of transparency. In fact, they got their tit in the ringer even more and more and more because they wouldn't be transparent. Just like Russia did with Chernobyl, or the USSR to be more accurate, with Chernobyl. Same thing. These bastards are never honest. They weren't honest with 3 Mile Island. And the IAEA has their back. You know, this bullshit with these agencies that's supposed to be there to protect our interests, that isn't how this world works. These agencies do nothing but protect the corporations, protect the politicians, throw us under the bus, and make us pay the damn bill for it. It's ridiculous. And this is why I don't like nuclear power. And this is why. You know, it would be different if we would use some of the technology, which there are many different ways that we can do nuclear power without there being such a threat, without there being such a radioactive waste being produced. But you know what? It doesn't produce weapons-grade material. So that's why they can't have those kind of reactors. Unbelievable. Here, let me get rid of this here. Just real quick, thousands of California hotel workers strike Around 15,000 hotel workers are on strike in California, which I figured I would bring this up, let you know about it. So I probably wouldn't give anybody any subconscious thoughts by playing music like Hotel California or something like that, because people would be left very, very disappointed to find out that the hotel workers are on strike. Now, I'm sure this is just like, Marriott and stuff like that. I'm sure your hourly rental, they're going to be good. They're going to be good. I'm pretty sure that the hourly rental ones aren't really probably union. So, you ought to be good there. Just give them a rock. Everybody'd be happy. Let's see. Boom. No. Oh. Sorry, I'm just trying to be excited here. I don't think Highland started yet, but I hear somebody out yonders. Sounds like it's a little distance away. Well, quite a few of them are going off, though. In a polarized U.S., how to define a patriot increasingly depends on who's being asked. That in itself is a problem. But much like much else of our language that's been changed, so has the definition of patriot. It's actually been changed multiple times over the years. And I mean like as in the damn dictionary changed. Originally, the ideal, the thought behind patriot wasn't that you defended your nation. It was that you defended your countrymen and women, of course. Countrymen included men and women. That is what it is to be a patriot. Just like I tell you, freedom isn't about what you can do. See, that's how we lose freedom. When people get selfish and they're just worried about what they can do, that's how we lose freedom. Freedom is about the rights that you're willing to defend for others, even those that you disagree with. That's freedom. And it takes a true patriot to support true freedom. That's really non-negotiable. But they keep changing the language and changing the definitions and crazy, really, this article. I'm not gonna, read word. It's quite a fairly long article. I don't want to be here that long. So it goes and talks about today the word and its variants have been morphed beyond the original meaning. So here it says, does it give the original meaning here? Well, it says the original patriots. It says, while the word's origins come from ancient Greece, its basic meaning in American history is someone who loves his or her country. Not so much. The original patriots come from the American Revolution, most often associated with figures such as Sam Adams and Benjamin Franklin, but enslaved people who advocated for abolition and members of native communities trying to recover or retain their sovereignty also saw themselves as patriots, said Nathaniel Sheedley, president and CEO of Revolutionary Spaces in Boston. The group runs the Old State House and Old South Meeting House, which played central roles in the Revolution. So we need to understand here that what I'm reading is going to be some spin-off of reality, because it's just the way that mainstream news is. It's about the enslaved people. No, it's not. They took part in the American Revolution There were working people advocating for their voices to be heard in the political process, Sheely said. The hallmark of patriotism then, he said, was the sense of self-sacrifice, of caring more about one's, this is what I'm saying, caring more about one's neighbor and fellow community members than oneself. Bingo. That is what I'm saying. People should be ashamed and embarrassed, some of the people that are calling themselves patriots. Because all you hear out of their mouths is about what they want, and to the hell with anybody else that wants anything different, to hell with anybody else that wants to do things any bit different, and then they'll sit there and tell you about how they're the patriot because they've got a flag in their hand or some bullshit. Unreal. No, that is it right there. That is it. Hit the nail on the head. A sense of self-sacrifice, of caring more about one's neighbor and fellow community members than oneself. That is a patriot. And I would tell the people out there that want to wave their flags and say that they're patriots to stop being posers. Anyway, it says patriotism has had more than one meaning. No, that is the meaning. That is the meaning of being a patriot. Patriotism, this goes on to say, in some ways the view of patriotism has always been on parallel tracks with civic ethnic nationalism, historians say. Patriotism really depends on which American is describing himself as a patriotic and what version or vision of the country they hold dear, said Matthew Delmont, a historian at Dartmouth. You know, you can overcomplicate anything. And that's pretty much what this guy's trying to do. Well, you know, and then what you do is you start dividing people up. And that's what they've been doing for several decades now, getting us all divided up in little bitty groups, giving us reality TV, trying to make every single one of us think that our opinion matters, and let me tell you what, it doesn't. Not a damn bit. And folks really need to understand that. Unbelievable. Of course everybody's got an opinion. Not all opinions are good ones. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that are confident enough to get out there in front of people, a lot of them don't have real good opinions. The ones with the good opinions, usually, they're part of the silent majority. They're usually not standing up, putting themselves out there. And that's why we see, or it appears, I should say, that some of these, when I say minority groups, I'm not talking about a race, I'm talking about a small amount of people that want something versus the rest. That's what I'm talking about. You know, they make these minority groups look so large just because they plaster it all over the mainstream media and all that stuff. It's unbelievable. So anyway, it just goes on. Like I said, I'm not going to sit there and go through and all that. It talks about how white nationalist groups use it. So they pretty much, in a sense, it's kind of a hit piece on being patriotic in a sense. It's trying to link patriotism with racism. It's pretty much the epitome of why we need to all get a hankering for some tea. That's just what I'm saying, right? I mean, where do they keep the tea these days? Anybody up for some tea? I'd like some tea. I think I deserve a few bags of tea. Anywho, got headlines for you. I'm gonna roll right on into them. A heavily armed gunman goes on shooting spree. This was last night. We have, oh, you're fine, Christopher. I don't know anything really as far as details and stuff on this. I looked at the updates. I looked it up. I forget which website I read. I think it was CNN, actually, that I read an update. And they've got the suspect and all that. But I couldn't tell of any kind of a motive at the time. I don't think they had said any kind of a motive or anything like that at the time. Not the time that I read it. There may be more information out there now. But there have been a number of these shootings. It's insane. It is absolutely insane. Alright. Moscow targeted by drones, says a mayor. NATO admiral tells Ukraine when to expect fighter jets. EU imports more LNG than piped gas for the first time, data shows. That's probably not something to, look forward to. Germany forced to rely on imported electricity, says Bild. Working their way towards sustainability more and more every day. Moscow accuses Kiev of another terrorist act. Eurasian Economic and Security Bloc expands. Putin reveals de-dollarization progress in trade with China. The world's coldest... Pardon me. Wow. World's coldest village sets new summer temperature record. Russia resisting hostile pressure, says Putin. NATO Secretary General confirms term extension. West debt addiction could trigger new global financial crisis, says Putin. Pretty sure it already has, to be real honest. Z hits out at color revolutions. China urges increased use of national currencies. Injuries reported in Tel Aviv car attack. Human rights activists brutally attacked in Chechnya. Musk and Zuckerberg lead wealth surge, says Bloomberg. Secret Service investigating white powder found at White House. Remember, they found some alleged cocaine by Biden's foot. You couldn't, no, not bye-bye. I'm just throwing a joke out there. Don't drone me or sue me, Hunter. Let's see. Ukraine accuses Western backers of failing to uphold... Oh, actually, I read that one. U.S. plans to restrict China's access to cloud computing, says Wall Street Journal. Virologists suggest source of avian flu outbreak. A lab? Let's see. Russian MiG-31 fighter jet crashes, says military. Kremlin reacts to assault on activists in Chechnya. China cancels visit by EU's top diplomat. Russian central bank explains ruble slide. Macron proposes fines for rioting youths. Robot conducts orchestra. Russia comments on Green Deal extension. World Register's hottest ever day. Germany and Poland at odds over tank repair center for Ukraine, says Der Spiegel. Ukraine shifts its counteroffensive focus. Let's see. Cover that one and that one. Hungary threatens to block all EU military aid to Ukraine. Taliban bans beauty salons, so keep that in mind when making your vacation plans. Israeli troops pull back from West Bank. And those are the headlines I've got for you. And with that, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Probably gonna kick the air back on. It's getting kind of stuffy quick. It's like 78 degrees outside right now, my computer says. So I figured it wouldn't. Well, then again, I don't have the back window open. So normally I have the back window open and a fan on to pull air through. And I don't have that on right now, but it's starting to get a little sticky in here. Anyway, I am gonna get out of here. I am gonna relax, probably be in bed within 20 minutes. But I hope you all have a good evening. Be safe, please. Be safe. Be safe with your fireworks. Be responsible with your pets, and don't blow any hands or nothing off, man. That sucks. And even more so, something that happens way more often than blowing fingers off. Don't drink and drive, please. That is one thing that I'm not a fan of alcohol to begin with, but mixing alcohol with a vehicle, nuh-uh. Not even cool. And I'm not just saying that to be proper or to be right. No, not cool. Anyway, I am out of here. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow, and we'll talk to you again. Have a good evening. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.